Hello friends, welcome back. This is Nima making another card for Craft Roulette, episode 275. For this card, we need to include an ATC, and an ATC is a card, a small card, about 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and the idea is to use it as a trading card. In fact, this ATC stands for Artist Trading Card. The colors will be Starry Night, the element down, and the random white dots. I'm going to use as many times watercolors. And I have two cards in here. This is going to be my card, and this is the size of my ATC. And I'll be painting the background at the same time because I want to use the same colors. Hold on one second. My light is blinking, so I'm going to turn off that light. I need a replacement for that, but actually they don't come as a replacement, and I have to change the whole unit, the ceiling fan and everything. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to paint those two cards at the same time because this one will go in here, and I want to have a smooth transition when I place my card, my ATC card on top. And again, this is just going to be the background. And for my background, I'm using, it's a sky. My theme is snowy mountain, something like that. So I'm going to use the blues, a little bit of the yellow, not too much, and then the snow will be my white dots in there. I'm using my Sakura Colors palette in here, and I'm going to start in here. Let's see if we can mix this. I'm going to use this as a mixing palette in here. And yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of wet on wet. So I have clear water in here, and I'm gonna get this two card wet. I think I'm gonna go this way on this one. And I'm going to start in here. I want to have a smooth transition, and the snow will be halfway down. But at the same time, I want the top, and this one might have. I'm going to paint it all blue in here, but the snow will be kind of right to there. So the top, I'm using this very deep blue. And that's where my card, oh, that's the different blue. It's okay, not a big deal. We'll push that out. Go one more time in here. And assuming that my card will be around here. I'm gonna go one more time over this. Removing a little bit of the excess from the bottom. Now, I like it a lot, but I think it needs like a little something that makes it more interesting. Maybe adding a little bit of pink or purple to that sky. Yeah, we can do that, of course. Let's see on this one. Just a little hint. Oh yeah. That blends in there a little bit and give you that color. That winter color. Lately I've been into winter. I'm thinking about Christmas in July, and it's just winter comes to my head. Even though I know that in those if you think about the South, there's no winter when it's Christmas. So yeah, but that's what I have in my head lately. I've been making some cards for Christmas in July, and they all winter, snow, things like that. And this is one like that. So now that it is still wet in here, I'm gonna add a few things in here. Let's bring it a little bit of. I'm gonna add some of the snow. I'm gonna use bleed-proof white. And I'm adding my white dots. Add a little bit of extra water in here. Yep. There's a pot of water in here, right in here. It's perfect. So I have pretty much everything in here. I have the ATC, I have the colors, I have the white dots, and I have the snow falling down. This is it. This is my card. All right, let me clean and I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. Let me wait until this is dry and then we'll come back to finish this. My cards are dry, and I'm gonna work on this one first. And to work on this one, I'm using, let me bring it in here. Actually, for my whole card, I'm using this set from Gina K, Winter Wonderland. It's one of my favorite ever die cut sets in here. And I use it a lot. I have a lot of other cards using this one. I think I'm gonna add, if I find the videos, I'm gonna add link them on the bottom. You could see. And what I did is that I already cut all the pieces, and I'm gonna use other components because for me an ATC is more than just the size of the card. An ATC for me includes, you know, for me to open, it means that I'm gonna open all my drawers and I'm gonna pull all those things that I haven't used in a while, and I'm very excited about that. So I'm gonna add some gesso in here for the snow, and I'm gonna be very crazy in here. I'm gonna simulate some mountains in here. Yeah, let's build some mountains. So this card will take a little while to dry and everything, because all the things that I'm putting in here. So these are my snowy mountains. Let's make them another one in here. Let's put another one in here. It's part of my background. And I'm gonna add also some of this thing. Now that I have just on the bottom, it's gonna help to glue all this in here. This is some cloth that I have found in my drawers, and that will give you definitely the snow impression in here. And I want to lay the pieces in different layers. And I have, this is my preferred layout. I have a church in here. And let me see, I have, this is another card in here that I'm gonna use just to define my layout. There's a moon that it will be in here. And I'm gonna have some trees, maybe one in here. This big one. I don't want to have it taller than the church. The church for me will be the tallest building in here. And the moon is cut in vellum. And I'm gonna have another tree in here. And I'm gonna have some little houses that they're gonna be positioned on this layer. And then a couple houses in here. So as you can see, I already covered the houses. Some of them, they have gold, the church and this house. And I have another house that I'm gonna use later on. And some others, I use purple cardstock. And then on this one, the light blue. So that's gonna be my layout once this is it's dry. So I'm gonna wait for that to get dry and I'll come back. Okay, so my card is practically dry. And here is what I've been doing. I cut a piece and I cut it a wavy, like a simulating a mountain, where I'm gonna add in there all these pieces. And I have glue in here. I already mounted my trees that they're going in the background. And this is, I just have to put more glue, but I'm just setting everything into position in here. Okay. And I use this as a template to position all my pieces. Obviously, this is gonna be glue in here. So I cut this on a size almost the same width. If it shows as white, so that will be the glue. I'm trying to keep my fingers, well, they are very messy already. So I'm gonna add more glue in here, tape. This is like glue dots or dot glue. And I added also, if you notice in here, a little bit of paint on the bottom, green. So I'm trying to scale everything in here. And this guy, it will go in here. All right. And then my church, from the church, I added some foam, craft foam. And I'm gonna add some of the glue dots in here. I already put some in here. And I want the church to be slightly higher than my tallest tree. That will do it. That'll be fine. And then I have also on the little houses First, I added a piece of cardboard, the same with the same size of this one, and then some of that craft foam, and I'm gonna lay this slightly over, and this other one will be on this side. And here I can bring them a little lower, yeah, because I don't want to have everything kind of so precise that it is even. So I'm going to bring this one higher a little bit, yeah, right there. And then this one, so much glue in my fingers. This one will go, let's trim that. Just a little tip. Slide it down, okay. And this one is not straight, okay. And once I glue this, you know, the trees, they're gonna be more like set on there, and then this piece will be glue. And there I'm trying to set everything in the position that I wanted. I'm gonna have another tree in here, and this tree will be on the front, but then I'm gonna add more of this snow in here. Okay. So let's glue all this together, this layer at least. So I have, I just want to show what I did in here. I put a very, very thin strip of the same cardstock. That, by the way, that's a watercolor. It's 300 GSM, so it's a very thick one. Right in the middle. So when I glue the trees, I'm gluing the trees right in the middle. It's making sure that the trees are kind of straight. All right. That they have some dimension. They're gonna be glue in the middle. And I put glue on the church and everything, and I just have to put some pressure in here. And I have that layer almost done. Like I said, I want to add more of the snow thing effect in here. And I want to add a tree in here. This tree is a little taller than what I want. So I'm going to chop a portion in here. Just want to put it right in there. Right, so I'm going to add a little more of this that I'm using to simulate the snow in here. So put some glue right in the border. And okay, it's a little sticky in there. And I have the little tree mounted already. And what I did is that I cut another snowbank in here. And yep, you probably think you're gonna put it backward. Yes, well, that's my plan. Here is what I did. First I need to put a lot of glue in here, so when I sit this on top, that glue will sink in the fabric. I cut 2 layers of this. I'm gonna put that in the bottom. I have the tree already positioned in there. And I have another layer that is exactly the same, that it will go on top. All right. And then, oops. And I want to put a little bit of glue in here. And this is very, very dimensional. And definitely, this is a type of card that you want to send. I mean, you don't want to send in the mail unless you make a box and send it that way. Okay. I'm going to roll this in here. And I still have some in here that I can add an extra one. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do it again with the gesso. I put some of the glue dots on the snowbank in there. And I'm gonna put my cheesecloth on top. And then I'm just gonna decorate this with some dab in here of the gesso. And this gesso is very, very thick. And it's that thick because I have big containers and I put it in here, and then I forgot to close one day. So it kind of got some very dry on the sides, but actually I like it. I'm gonna dab in here just to create a little bit of texture. And now that I'm working with that, let's go ahead and put some in here in the houses. I should take a brush, I know. But I'm lazy that way. Just, oops, that's too much. Just put it a little bit on the houses in here. All right. Okay, so this is dry. I mean, this is ready. I'm gonna let it dry, and I'm gonna work on the other side of the card. Let's put this on the side in here. Well, let me bring the card. I already mounted this one. Let's move the camera. I already mounted this one in the card, and here is the plan. This is gonna go in here, but I don't want this to be like just like that when the card gets removed. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna add in here some others that they're gonna decorate this part in here, right? Okay, I paused the video to do some setting in here, and I'm ready to finish this card, put it all together. I did a lot of things in here. So this is where my trading card will be, right in the middle, or kind of. Maybe not the middle, just kind of on the middle. And I'm gonna set in here some other scenarios in here, like I'm gonna put this little house in here, and I have some tape already on the back, just foam tape. And then this tree will go on the back. I'm just gonna put, let me just add this one in here. I like it because it's a little darker, the paint that I put in there. And for this one, it's just glue. And then I did something for the bottom in here. And it is that I built this bank of houses. Got the snow in here, and you got the houses. And then this is gonna go right in there. And to make it higher, I put foam tape. So I'm gonna put one more line of foam tape to go over everything. That is gonna be really thin to match this. And then this will go in here. So when you put the card, there will be like slightly over. The foam tape that I put in the houses, it's only to the ceiling. It's not gonna touch that part. So here is this portion in here. And like I said, the houses, they're like floating, but they're not. Because this one will go in there and will stick in here in the back. And then I want to put in here some trees in here. I'm just gonna add some glue dots in here to the trees. They're gonna be under the card, but what I want is at least the card to have something under, especially after you remove the ATC, because the ATC is removable. And by the way, I added a stamp, and that stamp is from I think it's David Roddenberg or something like that. Probably I'm mispronouncing his name, but he is part of Elizabeth Craft team. Let's add another tree in here, up in my mountains. And why not a message? Yeah, let's add a message in here. So let me just bring the message that I have. And the message will be hidden until you get the card out of. And I should have put the card in there, at least to have an idea. Maybe I can, oh, before it gets dry, let's bring it up a little bit. Okay. And the card will be in here. By the way, there is magnet in here and a magnet in between my card. So you can keep it in there or remove the card and then find the message behind. So that's my card. That's finally, I'm so happy that I did it. Actually, there's one more thing that I want to do. Whew, one more thing? Yes, one more thing. I want to do some real white dots. So I have some of this bleed-proof white. And I'm using this to do some big white dots. Because the other one, there's like splatters. So I want to put some white dots in here that kind of look like round. And sometimes we get those type of big snowflakes. Let's put some in here also. That's not too round, but we'll make it rounded. Perfect. All right, so yeah, this is it. That's my card. And I apologize that this card ended up, this video ended up being so long. I'm not gonna shop anything. This is the way it is. Let's go over the parameters really quick. We have a card that includes an ATC. We have the colors. That's Starry Night. And that's the blue. You got a little bit of the yellow and some of the gold and some of the houses. And down, the snow is coming down. And white dots, the snow also. Double duty in there. Well, thank you very much. And don't forget that Craft Roulette goes live every Friday. It starts at 7:30, the interview with the guest. Merry, fun, gun fun, and the guest will run the roulette to get the parameters to make the card. And you can also get the chance to participate. Submit your card before midnight or Sunday to craftroulette.live so you can get the chance to win some fabulous prizes. So this is my card, and I'll see you next time with another video for Craft Roulette. Bye.